Welcome to the Sydney Royal Easter Show. It is the Young Rider Grand Prix. It is a two-round competition. There are 15 efforts out there, 12 fences to jump. The length of the course is 560 metres. The time allowed in the first round is 96 seconds. It's a two-round competition. We'll take our top 10 from the first round back to the second round. The winner of the class will be the horse rider combination with the least number of penalties and the quickest time over the two rounds of competition. And our first horse and rider make their way out from just outside the nation's capital. She comes from God's country of Bungendore, and she is riding Yalambi's Jasmine. This is Lara Christoffels, 19 years of age, riding the Western Australian bred Yalambi's Jasmine. Course being designed by our international course designer, highly regarded champion of the Royal Agricultural Society, Mr. Graham Watts. Ably assisted this year by our assistant course designer, Mr. Aaron Ghaffari. We have our judge, Mr. Honar Yu. We have our chief jumping steward, Mr. Brett Davies. The sport of show jumping, unlike our show horse classes, there's no subjectivity to it. You jump clear or you knock the fence down. Jump it clear, it's a tick, it's a 0. Knock it down, whether you knock one rail or the entire fence, we put a score of 4 on the board. The object of the game is try and keep your score as close to 0 as possible. Men and women, or girls and boys, compete on an equal playing field in a show jumping. We don't have a men's and a women's competition, just simply a show jumping class. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, she's across the finish line. Show your appreciation. Just those two fences down. 8 jumping penalties, 93.09. A total of 8 for Yalambi's Jasmine and Lara Christoffels. Well, we welcome our second horse out into the arena. This is Miss Lauren Rutledge riding Finch Farm Cadell. Next combination in the arena. Well, Finch Farm Cadell approaches this final line. Just the one fence to be rebuilt. Oh, turn it to 8. Oh, gee, it can be a tough sport. She was looking so good to this final line. Safely over the last. Hey, Sydney, give her a round of applause. 3 rails down, 12 jumping penalties, 85.41, 85.41. So 12 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 12. Well, next out into the arena, we welcome Emma Peters. And Emma is riding Liano ML. Next of our riders to make her way to centre stage. Still looking for that elusive clear round.
Well, we have results now from in front of the members stand for Class 635, the non-hackney harness horse over 14 hands to be driven in a sulky buggy gig or show vehicle. And the winner here this afternoon is exhibit number 2164, Mr. Max Pearce and Miss Leah Montefiore and Mrs. Jennifer Brennan from Goulburn and Beauwood Dougal have taken out the blue ribbon. Second place will be awarded to catalogue number 1905, Elsie Stevens from Douglas Park and Salient Park Edward. So congratulations to great exhibits there, folks. Class 635, if you're following along in your catalogue, the non-hackney harness horse over 14 hands.
Out of the Marie Hewitt School of Show Jumping. It's a little deep to the last, but the horse got over it. We don't judge style, form or presentation, just whether they jump it clearly or not. Through the finish line, 93.91, under the time allowed of 96 seconds. 4 fences to be rebuilt. That combination coming out of the corner from in front of the Cumberland stand. 16 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 16. Well, next out into the arena, she was 5th here in yesterday's competition. This is Holly Tompkins. She was 5th here on the first day also. Holly Tompkins. 2 5th placings and a 7th place throughout the show. Comes to us formerly from Rockhampton. An auctioneer up there in central tablelands of Queensland, Central District. Now based down at the beautiful Glasshouse Mountain. She and her dad are setting up a lovely 40-acre property. She rides the Finch Farm Baroom, bred by David Finch at Finch Farm. Lucky yesterday, just had that one rail down, the 4 jumping penalties. Shows a little bit of ring craft. Could see that harness horse coming out into the arena and down past where she was going to go. So she did one more circle, 45 seconds to start your round. So our judge, Mr. Hona Yu, judges our horses, whether they jump the fence cleanly or knock it down. Doesn't be able to award or to track points for presentation, style or form, just where they jump it cleanly. It's probably one of the most non-subjective equestrian sports that we have. So Holly cut her teeth up in the central tablelands of Queensland, jumping around the likes of Emerald, Alpha, Capella, Claremont shows, travelling all the way up to Cairns with her dad. Now competing on the biggest stage for the show jumpers, Farm Varoom. Sit on your hands, Tim, don't say anything. It's very hard for me not to say something. 1 fence left to go. She comes down to the final fence, just the 1 rail on the ground. Further 4 at the last. 8 jumping penalties, 84.39, 84.39. 8 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 8 for Finch Farm Varoom and Holly Tompkins. Next out into the arena, we welcome Jamie Hewitt-Toms, riding Coco Story. Another one of our Queensland riders making the trip down here to be at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Grew up in Cairns, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. Currently studying at the University of the Sunshine Coast. Comes to us from Gympie, born and bred at Cairns. I shouldn't have doubted myself. Carrying the 3 fences down, 12 jumping penalties at this stage of the competition. Still yet to see in a clear round. In fact, our best score at the moment is 8 penalties on Finch Farm Varoom and Ylambi's Jasmine. So Holly Tompkins and Lara Christopher's are our 2 best placed riders so far. Coco Story, the rail down, so carrying the 20 penalties as she comes down to the final fence. 4 at the last, 24 jumping, 91.48, 91.48, and 24 for Jamie Hewitt-Toms and Coco Story. Well, next out into the arena, we welcome Sienna Holdsworth-Rose. Most recent name added to the Perpetual Trophy, the Helen Rose Memorial Perpetual Trophy, for our leading junior girl rider with her other horse. This time she rides Coco, the Oaks Kestrel, bred by Oaks Sport Horses, side by Cannon, and owned by Craig and Ingrid McEnany. Rabbit, as she's known around the stables, is a 9-year-old out of Oaks Cinderella, Oaks Kestrel. Lovely chestnut. Was second here yesterday with just that 1 rail down. Sienna Holdsworth-Rose, very quick against the clock always. 10th on the first day. And a 4th, so a 2nd and a 4th so far. So it would be in the mix for our leading rider. For a good class today. Of course, there's plenty of jumping. We saw in the last class. After the first round, Emily Lang McMahon was placed in 9th. She finished up in 3rd place after all of the said and done in the second round. So an interesting fact here that's happened, a little situation. She had a disobedience at the B element. She's already jumped A, but because that is 1 fence, she has to go back. So she'll get 4 for the disobedience, and then 4 for A, 4 for B, and 4 for C. So 16 jumping penalties at the 1 fence. Now you must jump an A and B fence in that order. In that sense, the treble has an A, B, and C. Well, not the score that she was looking for today, unfortunately. 9 time penalties, 28 jumping penalties, 37 total for Oaks Kestrel and Sienna Holdsworth-Rose. Number 8 is scratching, so we go straight on to number 81 in the catalogue. Number 9 in the draw of 15. This is Clemency Hughes riding YPH Capulet. Clemency Hughes just gets the last of these fences put back in place. YPH Capulet and Australian junior and young rider show jumping champion Clemency Hughes from the Hawkesbury trains with Tom McDermott. Next rider out into the arena. Very successful horse, YPH Capulet, owned by the Tucker family from Western Australia and campaigned by Billy Raymond. Then sold to Clemency Hughes. Oh, it's a great round, just the one rail down. 4 jumping penalties, 89.79. 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. Our best placed rider thus far in the competition. First that one rail down at the first of the combinations, 4A. Picks up 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. Puts her in first place at this stage. That's the one we've got to try and emulate. Can we get one that's even better than that? Can we get a clear round? Notre Dame de Bouganon and Charlie Magnia make their way out into the arena now. The young man from Coolmore, they're in the Hunter Valley. Now these days based down at Mount White. Trains with Tom McDermott. This horse owned by Sophie Magnia and Linda Huddy. The relatively new combination. Mary, she's known around the stables. Notre Dame de Bouganon, definitely a European bred and imported horse. Charlie Magnia winning the Morris Gordon Memorial Perpetual Trophy for the leading junior boy rider. At only 15 years of age, this is his first year in young rider competitions. So from the year of your 16th to the year of your 21st birthday, you qualify as a young rider. Charlie's still very much the young gun in this class, competing against kids that are 3 and 4 years older than him. He's never let that worry him. Very talented junior jockey. Trains with Tom and Greg McDermott. And when not on the show jumping circuit or worrying about his school studies, he's following the racing industry. Gets a moment, he doesn't mind swinging a golf club. These highly frustrating people that are super talented at everything they do. Notre Dame de Bouganon, round defence number 9. Now, you'll be able to have a quick look around. Nothing has had to be adjusted or changed. No fences need to be put back up. So on the scoreboard, there is no numbers next to the time. Is this the one? Come on, Charlie. Come on, Charlie. Come on, Charlie. Clear round. What a ride. Notre Dame de Bouganon. No jumping penalties, no time penalties. And our first clear round guarantees themselves a spot in the jump-off round or the second round of competition. And boy, oh boy, is he pleased, and so he should be. What a lovely mare. What a great ride from Charlie Magnia. Hannah Doolan now out in the arena. Featured in the lineup here in the junior riders. Was third here in yesterday's competition on Ashley City Lights. This horse started his career, Ashley City Lights, with Phil Lever and Frida Lindgren. So had a seventh and then a third here yesterday. So statistics say, jumping up the leaderboard, she should keep improving today. Ashley City Lights on course. Well, carrying the 12 jumping penalties as she comes down to the final line. In that early part of the course, saw some rails fall. Rail at the last, 16 jumping penalties, 84.28. 84.28, 16 jumping penalties. No time penalties, a total of 16. Why we keep saying the time, they've got to complete this course quicker than 96 seconds, otherwise they start to get penalised. We welcome out now the next of our riders. This is Vincino and Jake Tomlinson. He was second to Jack Barker here yesterday. The first day he finished in third place. Just down the lineup a little bit yesterday, had the couple of rails down, training with James Patterson Robertson, JPR Equestrian. Comes to us from the central west of New South Wales. Very solid competitor. Another young man that's really only commencing his show jumping career in the last couple of years. Although it is his fourth year competing here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show, so it's amazing how quickly that you come up through the grades and we see these young juniors or children suddenly become young men or young women. And Vincino, Vinny, is a 14-year-old. What a shame, the Ned Kelly fence falls to the ground. 4 jumping penalties. See if we can keep him there. Let's ride with him, Sydney. Hold on to your hats. Vincino. Oh, rail down at the last. 8 jumping penalties, just under the time allowed, 95.69. And 8. So as I see it, that will put him into 5th place. So obviously our current leader of the competition is Notre Dame de Bouganon. We then go to Clem Smith in 2nd. The fastest of our 8 falters is Holly Tompkins, followed by Lara Christoffel, will be in fourth. So Jack goes into fifth, with then Lauren Rutledge in sixth, Ashley City Lights and Hannah Doolan in seventh, and Liano ML currently sitting in eighth place. Welcome out into the arena, Claire Zylstra, second last rider to go, just the one clear round thus far. And this is Harvey B. Harvey B started his show jumping career. Well, actually, the concept of Harvey B was started by Vice President of the Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales, Mr. Mark Shembring. And Mark bred this horse with Jennifer and Nathan Wood, who campaigned him as a stallion. And he was sold to Claire, who competed and won the Australian Junior Show Jumping Championship. COVID always gets me confused. Either 2020 or 21. Then come up through the junior and then young rider ranks to be here competing this year. Got that one fence down, the Australia flag in front of the Cumberland stand. It's our 4 jumping penalties. That's where the 4 comes from. Have just joined us this afternoon in the NG Stadium. Welcome. At the pointy end, just was for one more horse and rider combination to go in the first round. The top 10 back for the second round. 2-round competition. Rolls on round to this final line. Distance between the B element of the double and this oxer here, the trees and the park bench. No problem for Harvey B and Claire Zylstra. 8 jumping penalties, puts herself into 4th place at this stage, so we'll come back for the second round. 8 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 8. Final horse and rider out in this first round of competition. A young man who's no stranger to success this year at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Out of the 3 classes, he has won 2 of them. This is Jack Barker, Talara Kolchik, Chisel, as she's known around the stables. Talara Kolchik. And Jack Barker. The last 2 days, he has won both classes on this combination. The sport of show jumping, every day is a new day. So you start the new competition. So Chisel, well, she's out of Chico's Girl by Coleman. He trains with Michelle Strapp and Marie Hewitt. Proudly sponsored by Trail Race, Jason and the team. Well, wonderful supporters of show jumping. We thank Jace. In fact, if you'd like to buy some saddlery while you're here today, you've got the bug. Go down to behind the Sydney Royal stand and walk as if you're heading north from there along the boulevard, and you'll come to Trail Race just next door to where all the horses warm up in the indoor arena. Say good day to Jace, say that Jack Barker sent you and he'll look after you. Talara Kolchik, combination out in the arena. Making their way around this Graham Watts design course. Just the young man, Charlie Magnia, has been able to complete this course without fault. Up to the combination, drops a rail at B, who comes down to the final fence carrying the 4, no problem at the last, puts himself into second place. 4 jumping penalties, 88.71, 88.71. So after the first round, we'll invite all those back from the second round. So Notre Dame de Bouganon placed in first place, Talara Kolchik. and Jack Barker currently in second. Third, as I see it, Clemency Hughes, and we'll go in reverse seated order. We then go to Holly Tompkins, Finch Farm Varoom, Harvey B and Claire Zilstra in fifth. Yalambi's Jasmine, Lara Christoffel in sixth. Vincino, Jake Tomlinson in seventh. And Finch Farm Cadell and young Lauren Rutledge currently in eighth place. So the second round will change the length of the course, will change the order in which they jump. They'll jump fences 1, 2, 3, 4A, 4B, 5, 6, 13, 14, 11A and 11B. Finish over fence number 12. Time allowed is 78 seconds. Great to see Seth Staples on the couch at home watching the live stream, mate. Hope you're getting a recovery from your first operation. New South Wales Jumping Volunteer of the Year. So rest up, Seth. We miss you here at the show. And if you are here in the NG Stadium, we'll take a break. We'll be back with the second round very soon with all the action of the second round still to come. Just before we do stop talking, we introduce the next of our classes. And this is coming around here to arena number 4, class number 646. This is special class, the best sulky or buggy horse. And this is also going to be judging the Mrs. EMMA Bull Memorial Perpetual Trophy, donated by the late Mrs. EMMA Bull for the best sulky or buggy. And we also have the Perpetual Trophy to go along with that. So that class about to be judged down here in front of the member and Sutton stand. All the action still to come here in the NG Stadium.
Well, the class we're judging in front of the member stand here this afternoon, we have special class 646. And this is for the Mrs. E.M. M.A. Bull Memorial Perpetual Trophy for the best sulky or buggy horse. Now, this award was first presented in 1967. It was donated by the bequest from the late Mrs. Edith May Mary Alice Bull, and first presented in 1967. Mrs. Bull left a bequest of land at Liverpool to the RAS. The land was subsequently sold and the proceeds contributed to this trophy, and first presented way back in 1967. That is the special class we are judging at the moment in front of the members' stand. Special class 646. Well, of course, coming up this afternoon, we will have our second grand parade. It's coming up at 4:30 p.m. this afternoon.
You excited for the grand parade?
Always excited, Tim. What about yourself? You ready? You're always excited, though.
Yeah, it's because I've got a small mind.
You're jumping around up here all the time.
Yeah, I've got to get my steps up. All right, let's get our steps up. First horse on course in this second round of competition. Put a shout out to Seth Staples before. How about my old mate Grant Hughes, who's just had a knee reconstruction, watching on in Canberra as well. Ashley City Lights carrying the 16 jumping penalties from the first round into this second round over the shortened course. Fences 1, 2, 3, 4A, 4B, 5, 6, 13, 14, 11A, B, and 12. Go. 4A, 4B. It's a second round, not a jump off, although after the second round, if we still have an equality of faults, we'll use penalties over the 2 rounds and time on the second round to determine our placings. Fence number 6. Comes around to fence number 14. Just carrying the 4 jumping penalties now. From the second round. Rail down at the last, so 8 in the second, 16 in the first, 24 over the 2 rounds, a time taken of 72.11 and a total of 24.
Well, we make the presentation for special class number 646 in front of the members stand here this afternoon for the best sulky or buggy horse, and we invite forward exhibit number 2174. Mr. Peter White and Mrs. Sue White from Murray Bateman here in New South Wales with Makari Walter have taken out the best sulky or buggy horse special class 646. As we said, they will receive the Mrs. EMMA Bull Memorial Perpetual Trophy. We welcome to the presentation area to make the presentation Mr. Warren Coyle, and congratulations there to Peter White and Mrs. Sue White from Murray Bateman and Makari Walter.
Well, rider on course, Finch Farm Cadell with Lauren Rutledge. Had the 12 jumping penalties in the first round. She's carrying the 8 thus far in this second round. So now 12 and 12, so sitting on the same score as Hannah Doolan. Great to see this lovely horse out here still competing in the main arena by Charlemagne Ego Z, Farm Cadell. So a disobedience at fence number 14. You get 4 penalties for that, plus the clock keeps ticking. Time allowed 78 seconds, so she's about to get a lot of time penalties because you get 1 for every second or part thereof. And unfortunately, today not the day. Second disobedience, incurring elimination from the competition.
Well, as we can see, the best sulky or buggy horse being presented down there. We go back through past the winners of this class. 2023, Mark Glendenning and Glenborn Star were the winners. Elsa Avery and Crosswinds Al Brennan were the winners in 2019. This year's winners, Peter and Sue White, won it with Indy Maverick in 2016. The Avery family also won it in 2006 with Justin Brennan. And right back to 1991, the Wills Allen team with Dunalley Antoinette were the winners.
Well, while we rebuild that fence, next horse and rider out into the arena. This is Vincino. Well, Vincino now out in the arena. Jake Tomlinson. Nice turn back to fence number 3. He carries the 8 penalties from the first round. A clear round here will really keep the pressure. Oh, Timothy, as soon as you say that. Rail down, so he's carrying the 8 from the first, 4 in the second. Three fences left to go, 4 jumping efforts. Nicely over fence number 14. That was the problem for Finch Farm Cadell. This was a tough line in the first round. How can he go in the second round? Carrying 4 in the second, 8 in the first. He comes down to the final fence, 16 total. Final fence falls to the ground, 71.24, 71.24. 16 over the 2, 8 in the first, 8 in the second. That will put him currently into the lead. But he's left the door wide open. Now we welcome out She was first horse out here this afternoon. This is Lara Christoffel riding Yalambi's Jasmine, the 19-year-old. Trains with Kate Hinchin and Izzy Stone from Sutton Overture, based at Bungendore, full-time in the equestrian pursuits at the moment. Bell sounds, 45 seconds to start her round. Buying up a bit of time to not have the harness in the arena. Really is an advantage if you can just use that peripheral vision. Let your horse focus on the job. Yalambi's Jasmine by Rory Hovell from Yalambi's Stud down in the Margaret River of Western Australia. Beautiful part of the world. I know our course designer, Mr. Graham Watts, has spent a bit of time over there building. Rory and the Hovell family. Right now, the focus is on this young lady. She makes her way around this course. The 2 rails in the first round. Long second round for our show jump riders. Reverse arc, which we did the other way in the first round. Now we go the wall, the Sydney Show wall, back to the Oxa. Oh, come on, girls and boys, let's cross our fingers. It's a lovely round. Like I'm possessed. How can I do that to the poor lady? 8 jumping penalties. She comes down to the final fence safely over the last. 8 jumping, 2 time, a total of 10. 79.04, 79.04, 18 over the 2 rounds of competition. That'll put her into second place at this stage. Our current leader is Jake Tomlinson. Yalambi's Jasmine, 18 with the 2 time penalties. So 8 jumping in the first, 8 jumping in the second, 2 time penalties, a total of 10. Add that all together, that gives us 18. Claire Zylstra now makes her way out into the arena, and she is riding Harvey B. Still looking for that clear round. Of course, we are in reverse seated order in placings from the first round. So those with the higher scores come out earlier than those with the lower scores. For those on the equal score, we use their time in the first round for order of go in the second round. So we had 4 horses and riders on 8 jumping penalties. Sitting as the second fastest, Claire Zylstra, Harvey B, make their way out into the arena. And we have just 4 horses and riders to go following the conclusion of this round here this afternoon. As we said, Grand Parade coming up. And at 20 past 5 this afternoon, we've got a very special treat. We've got our famous chicken farmers coming out. Chicken Run. Harvey B. And Claire Zylstra. The 4 jumping penalties at the Australia flag. Been the problem all day long. This line has been the bane of my existence. She comes down to the final fence. Hey, she's safely over the last. She jumps that final line clear, just the Australia flag. 4 jumping penalties, 8 in the first, 12 over the 2 rounds of competition, 72.38 and 12. New leader in the competition. She goes to first. Now we go Jake into second, Lara into third. As we welcome out now Holly Tompkins, and Holly riding Finch Farm Varoom. The 8 penalties in the first round. Next rider out into the arena. Holly Tompkins now on course from the Sunshine Coast of Queensland. Makes her way through the what was treble, now combination. Peru. Here earlier today, that jump sits on a flat cup, so very easy to knock over. So carrying the 4 now. That same fence as Claire Zylstra had down. So she wants to be in front of Claire. She now needs to be quicker than 72.38. Have to get down this tough line. Come on, Holly. That's right. One fence left to go. Comes down to the final fence. Safely on the last. New leader in the competition. 8 in the first, 4 in the second. 64.16. 8 seconds quicker than Harvey B. New leader in the competition. Holly Tompkins has put a very quick time on the board, and that may just prove critical later on in this class. 64.16, 8 in the first, 4 in the second, 12 over the 2 rounds, so she goes into first, Claire into second, Jake into third, and Lara now into 4th place. YPH Capulet comes into the arena. Now this young lady had just the 4 jumping penalties in the first round, so she has a rail up her sleeve to be in front of Holly. In fact, if she has 2, then she needs to be quicker than Holly's time. We always use penalties before time, so she has 4 jumping penalties from the first round. A clear round here will really put the pressure on Jack and Charlie, the 2 young gentlemen still to come. A young lady from the Hawkesbury, on the banks of the Hawkesbury River. This is Clemency Hughes riding YPH Capulet. Well, they had a little conversation, YPH Capulet and Clem coming round to the flag. Capulet wanted to say, "Mum, let's go." Clemmy said, "Let's just wait." He got there and got it done. Nicely through the line there, 13 to fence 14. He's right. B's there. Come on, Clem. Come on, Clemmy. Clear round. New leader in the competition. 4 jumping penalties in the first round. 69.11. And clear in the second. 4 over the 2 rounds of competition. She says to Jack. She says to Charlie, "Catch me if you can. I have put everything I can on the table." She'll take first place. Holly now goes into second place. Harvey B and Claire Zylstra into third. Jake into 4th. Lara Christoffel into 5th place. 2 horses and riders left to go. The young man from Victoria, he has won the last 2 days on this combination. This is Chisel, as she's known around the stables, formerly known as Talara Kolchik, and number 9 in the draw, Jack Barker. What can this young man do? A clear round is first and foremost the utmost priority. If he wants to take the lead, he needs to be quicker than 69.11. That is going to put him in front of Clem. So he doesn't have to go crazy quick. We've seen a time of 64.16 of Holly, so we know the time can be beaten. Holly had a really quick time, but he also had a rail down. So a rail down, that'll automatically put him into second place. This is the pressure. Tricky fence out on its own. Flat cups, get there too quick, long and flat in the temptation, will just roll out of the cup. Rattled the rustic oxer. It rocked and it rolled, but it stayed there. That's all that matters. left to go. Up to this final line. A and B are right. Look at the time, he's on the clock, he's right there, he's right there. We have a new leader, 67.01 the time. New leader in the competition. 4 jumping penalties in the first round, clear in the second. He takes the lead, 67.01, 4 over the 2 rounds. And new leader, so we shuffle the leaderboard once again. Clem Hughes now into second, Holly Tompkins into third, Claire Zylstra into fourth, Jake Tomlinson into fifth, and Lara Christoffel out into 6th place. He was sitting here in the last class as our 2nd place getter in the junior competition. Young Charlie Magnier, just 15 years of age. All he needs to do is jump a clear round under the time allowed of 78 seconds. A rail down and he needs to get going. What does this young man do? The stage is set, the curtains are drawn. Clear round, Notre Dame de Bouganon, and Charlie Magnier will be declared the winner of the Sydney Royal Easter Show Young Rider Grand Prix on the 4th and final day. It sounds so simple when you say, hey Charlie, just jump clean. We have seen rails fall at nearly every fence on the arena here today. He was the only horse and rider combination to be able to jump clean. You can tell straight away by the line from fences 2 to 3. He's backing himself into a clear round. He's played his card early. It's a game of high stakes. It's a game of nerves of steel. Two fences, 3 efforts to go. Close on the time. Keep an eye on the clock. Eye on the prize. He comes down to the final fence, the young man from the Coolmore family. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the class is right there, clear in the first round, clear in the second round, at only 15 years of age, the first time competing in young riders, Charlie Magnier, on Linda Huddy and Sophie Magnier's nomination of Notre Dame de Bouganon, will be declared the winner. The only double clear round, and well done, young man. A superb round here this afternoon in the NG Stadium. Well, we have the official results now from our judge, Mr. Honayu, in this, the show jumping Notre Dame de Bouganon, as we called it. Charlie Magnier takes the win. Second place to Talara Kolchik and Jack Barker. Third place to YPH Capulet Clemency Hughes. Fourth place to Finch Farm Varoom and Holly Tompkins, and fifth place to Harvey B and Claire Zilstra. Those are results now official, and we're making our way down for the presentation. Mr. Smith, we've got another lovely harness class coming into the arena.
Well, class, we welcome in front of the Martin and Angus stand in ring number 2 this afternoon is class number 710. This is for 3 or more light, medium or heavy delivery horses. This class to be judged on horses, not the harness or vehicle. Our judge this afternoon is Mr. Glenn Pate. We welcome our Chief Steward in Charge, Councillor Mr. Jamie Bell, and to our stewards this afternoon in ring 2, Miss Robin Rogers, Mr. Dick Adams, Mr. James Ashton and Mr. Monty Hicks. And shortly we will have the presentation for our young riders show jumping class as well. Well, as Tim Dreverman alluded to, coming up at 4:30 p.m. this afternoon, we will have our Grand Parade coming up here in the main arena, where all of our animals will gather, and that will commence at 4:30 p.m. followed by the chicken run and racing utes, and then at 6 o'clock tonight we have the 4th round of the Tyrrell's World Championship Camp Draft. And also coming around following our green coat is exhibits for class number 663. They're going to make their way to ring number 4 in front of the members stand. And this is the ladies non-hackney pony over 12 2 hands and not exceeding 14 hands. Margaret Langan will be our judge, judging our non-Hackney ladies class this afternoon. Well, we also welcome our green coats into the NG arena here this afternoon as well. We welcome Mr. Ben Collette, Mr. Scott Jones-Ryan, Mr. Stephen Myhill, Mr. Stephen Wells, Mr. Tom Steger, and to Mr. Cliff Parker. So folks, we will have the official presentation very shortly in our show jumping arena. We wish our ladies drivers all the very best of luck in the ladies non-Hackney pony class. This is class 663 as they're coming around now. And from the light harness, we move over to ring 2 for our tune-out class. So folks, we'll be back very shortly. Right, our competitors are lined up down there, so we'll head down to the Golden Voices show jumping, Mr. Tim Dreven for the presentation.
The Golden Voices show jumping. You make me laugh, Mr. Smith. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are down here for the presentation. And congratulations to the only double clear round, Charlie Magnier with Notre Dame de Bruggenon taking out our first place and has our judge, Mr. Honar Yu, making the presentation over here in front of the Sydney Royal stand. Congratulations to our winner. Second place, well done to Jack Barker and Talara Kolchik. 4 in the first, clear in the second, the quickest time on the course in a clear round. But that one rail in the first round, the difference between first and second place. Third place going to Clemency Hughes, YPH Capulet, on a total of 4 over the 2 rounds, 4 in the first, clear also in the second to take out our third place. Fourth place going to Finch Farm Varoom and Holly Tompkins, and fifth place going to Harvey B and Claire Zilstra. Well, the man of the moment, the winner of the class. Well done, Charlie Magnier. Well done, Charlie Magnier, on a sensational win here this afternoon.
Oh, thanks so much. Second time being out here today. I'm just so thankful for everything and for everyone who's helped with the show, getting it ready with the grounds. Everyone who's helped with the horse, especially big well done to all the competitors and everyone, especially Greg today, with helping me warm up and walk the course. But yeah, thank you.
Lovely to have Mum as one of the owners, and also Linda Huddy. Great to have the support of Linda and the team from Peachester.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, without them, we wouldn't have any horses and we wouldn't be here. Nothing would be happening. So it's just amazing to have them. Yeah, thanks.
Well done. Congratulations. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, over the 4 days, we have our most consistent leading young rider. And please join me in congratulating the young man from Victoria, super consistent. Well done to Jack Barker and Talara Kolchik, our most successful young rider in 2024. And we'll ask our chief jumping steward, Mr. Brett Davey, to award the rosette to our leading rider of the show for our young riders from the year of their 16th to the year of their 21st. Special mention to Clemency Hughes, her final year in young riders. We've seen her here in juniors, we've seen her here in young riders, and we look forward to seeing you in the open competition in years to come. But Jack, mate, overall most consistent, a super show, well done.
Thanks, Tim. I'd just like to say massive thanks to the show for obviously putting on the event. Great job to all the other competitors. It's been a great week. I'd like to say thanks to my coaches, Michelle Strapp and Marie Hewitt, my parents, and my sponsors, Trail Race, AE and High Form. I couldn't do it without them. Yeah, big thanks to everyone else. Thanks.
Well, congratulations. That concludes the show jumping here today. That concludes our Junior and Young Rider week of show jumping. To all of you watching on at home, thanks for joining us on the live stream. We bid you farewell. Get down here. We start with our open show jumping tomorrow afternoon with our Group A Section 1. But right now, we'll ask our green coat, Mr. Cliff Parker, to take them on a lap around the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, please join me in congratulating the winner and place getters here this afternoon, the magnificent Charlie Magnia. Remember that name. He's a star of the future. He's a star of today on the magnificent Notre Dame de Bouganon.